afternoon, good evening from the Klein Party. That was Soll sein gelebt, Live It Up, by Dave Tarras, perhaps the most well-known of New York klezmer clarinet players. That was a freylach, which is a dance, and it's basically a festive dance. It can be a slow festive dance, it can be a fast festive dance, it can be a circle dance, it can be a line dance, it can be a couple dance. They're all freylach. David Tarashuk, Dave Tarras, who I'm spending a little moment for, came from a big klezmer family and thought he was going to make it there back in the old world, but the Eastern European pogroms of the early 20th century made life really miserable for people of his persuasion, and his family moved to New York. And one of the first things that happened at Ellis Island, or wherever he came through, I'm not sure it was Ellis Island, but it probably was, they fumigated his clarinet and ruined it. So, but he got another one, started working in a fur shop, but kept playing the clarinet, didn't know if he was good enough, started playing for the Yiddish theater, ended up leading orchestras for all four of the big four Yiddish theater composers, crossed over into radio, made over 500 recordings, really known for bringing together American popular music with klezmer, and a lot of the music we're going to play today comes out of the New York style of klezmer as opposed to the old world style. And Dave Tarras influenced many generations and lived really long, died at 95. Anyway, here's something completely different from Harry Kandel and his Jewish orchestra, A Nacht in Gan Eden, which is A Night in the Garden of Eden. And what a night it was. One, two, here we go. Gan Eden with animals from the Garden of Eden, specially provided by Amber Wolf today. That was by Harry Kandel, born in Galicia, was in the Tsar's army band, came to the United States really young, played in vaudeville, played in the Great Lafayette Band, played with Buffalo Bills touring extravaganza, played with John Philip Sousa. He played clarinet, trombone, tuba, xylophone, cornet, violin, flute, viola, and piano.
Too many.
Anyway, he had 9 hot years from like the mid-teens to the late 20s, and then he retired and ran a record store for the rest of his life. So today is kind of devoted to a specific musician of the New York klezmer scene, which is Naftuli Brandwein. And he is, some people call him the Charlie Parker of klezmer. Also born in Galicia, now Ukraine. Also into a family of klezmer musicians. His father was both a violinist and a bodkin, which is like a freestyle improvising wedding poet. Had 13 sons. Moishe played the violin.
That's too many.
Another son played French horn. Another played trombone. Mendel played the piano. Yeah, there's a lot of sons. Anyway, he emigrated at 19 to the United States, where he became a real big star of the 78 record era. Proclaimed himself the king of Jewish music. And
You should never proclaim yourself something.
yeah, well, as we will find out. But he was part of that first wave of American klezmer artists, trained in the old world, but embraced the stuff in the new world. Anyway, here's Naftule's freylach, another freylach.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
D, one final time. One last time through D. 1, 2, 1, 2, da, da.
That's how it should end.
And that's how it should end.
Whoops.
Hey, we'd like to feature our vocalist now on a
Oh,
song
me?
by the great American Klezmerish composer, Mr. Duke Ellington. This song, Drop Me Off in Harlem, written during the Harlem Renaissance, 1933, had lyrics by Nick Kenny, who joined the Navy at 16, and you're getting ready.
Yeah.
Served on the USS Arizona, my Hawaii friends, and when it went down at Pearl Harbor, one of his poems was on the ship's bulletin board. He was a newspaper columnist, a sports writer, a song lyricist, and a poet. He wrote the song Love Letters in the Sand, which was a great hit for Pat Boone many years later. But we love this song of his, Drop Me Off in Harlem. Give us a good time. Or a good tempo. Please give us a
That's
good
why
time.
I was taking off my jacket there. Give me a good time. That's why I insisted on not having a banner so you can see my legs.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Drop me off in Harlem, any old place in Harlem. There's someone waiting there who makes it seem like heaven up in Harlem. I don't want your Dixie, yeah, you can keep your Dixie. There's no one down in Dixie who can keep it, my heart, Harlem. Harlem has those southern skies that in my baby's smile I idolize my baby's eyes and classy uptown smile. If Harlem moved to China, I know of nothing finer than to stow away on a plane someday and have it drop me off in Harlem. Harlem has those southern skies there in my baby's smile. I idolize my baby's eyes and classy uptown style. If Harlem moved to China, I know of nothing finer than to stow away on a plane someday and have it drop me off in Harlem. Drop me off in Harlem.
Drop Me Off in Harlem by Duke Ellington and Nick Kenny. Hey, we are the Klein Party. We play Klezmerish music from all of the old countries. Give us enough time, we'll hit them all. In the tradition of klezmer musicians of the past several centuries, we make our money through tips and getting fed, free food. So looking for the free food. I believe we have a tip jar here. Those of you who are watching on Facebook, there's a link there that can bring you right over to the tip place. So I hope you'll take advantage of that. Here's a song by Carino Mendoza y Cortez, born in Mexico City in 1862. slightly more famous for writing the song Cielito Lindo, but while he was serving the nation as a lieutenant colonel during the Mexican Revolution and directing the revolutionary military band in Puebla, he wrote this piece, which was Pancho Villa's favorite piece to have bands play during combat. Just think how different, well, I don't even want to imagine. But this song, Jesucita en Chihuahua, is about the soldaderas, which were the women revolutionaries who were mostly in support figures around the Revolutionary Army, but also participated in combat. Lawrence Welk later re-recorded this as Cactus Polka.
Really, Lawrence?
Yeah. But we know it as Jesucita en Chihuahua. By Carino Mendoza y Cortez. So that means what? Say what?
What a mighty battle tune.
What? Can you imagine?
What a polka.
So this means it's time for just another polka, sung by Frank Lesser and Milton DeLugg. Frank Lesser, of course, is the great musical theater composer and lyricist for Broadway musicals, Guys and Dolls, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, many Tony Awards, Pulitzer Prize, songs for over 60 Hollywood films, 5 Academy Award nominations. He won once for Baby It's Cold Outside. He paired up with Milton DeLugg for this song. Milton DeLugg was the Los Angeles accordion player. If you wanted an accordion player, you got Milton. He played with Jackie Wilson. He ran the Tonight Show band. He wrote the songs for Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. He wrote and arranged the theme to the Newlywed Show. He wrote this song that we play, Orange Colored Sky. But now, we're going to give you just another polka.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. just another polka. But oh, what a girl in my arms. Am I in heaven since we met? Is this the Philharmonic playing Romeo and Juliet? No! Just another polka, like any other polka, but somehow the music has charms. This is just another polka, but holy smoker, oh, what a girl in my arms. Because I'm dancing with an angel, with an angel, an angel, an angel. Yes, I'm dancing with an angel. That's why the band is getting better from the moment that I met her. I'm dancing with an angel, with an angel, an angel, an angel. Got me dancing like I never thought I could. Arthur Murray never had it so good. This is just another polka, just another polka. But oh, what a girl in my arms. Am I in heaven since we met? Is this the Philharmonic playing Romeo and Juliet? Yes! Just another polka, like any other polka, but somehow the music has charm. This is just another polka, but holy smoker, oh, what a girl in my arms. Oh, what a girl in my arms. Oh, what a girl in my arms.
Thank you, E-Ray. Thank you for another polka. Hey, you may have noticed we have our official music stand banners in front of each and every one of us except Amber, who is waiting for the dress. These were designed by the great Darren Lucas, who has a day job playing the guitar. We have another Naftuli Brandwein song because we're celebrating him today. You know, he was known for a lot of things. He was known for an incredibly wild style that incorporated strands of Eastern European Jewish music, but also Greek music and Turkish and Hungarian and gypsy music. He would also be known for playing with a neon sign around his neck that said the Naftuli Brandwein Orchestra. Once he wore plugged-in Christmas lights and apparently nearly electrocuted himself because he was sweating so much. He'd turn his back to the audience to conceal his fingering tricks on his clarinet. People like Charlie Parker and Miles used to go watch him play to figure out how he did stuff.
Does everybody have fingering tricks? Yes, you.
Here is, drawing on all that, here's his very famous song, the Araber Tanz, the Arabic dance. Arabertanz by Naftuli Brandwein. We'd now like to do a song from the Yiddish theater. This is Yussel Yussel by Nellie Kassman and her husband Shlomo Steinberg. She was born in Russia, moved to the United States early 1900s, married a playwright. Always the route to success. And they wrote songs and shows, and they were everywhere. They were in Argentina, and London, and Paris, and Berlin, and back to Warsaw. And she was an actor and a writer and a composer, and she was later in the TV show The Goldbergs, which is probably before anybody here's time, early years of TV. But this song, written in 1923, Yussel Yussel, later became a hit under the name Joseph Joseph by the Andrews Sisters, about 15 years later.
One, two, one, and two.
Yussel Yussel, Nellie Kassman, and Shlomo Steinberg.
I used both hands on that one.
I didn't see, you had your back, so I couldn't see your technique.
Fingering techniques, yes.
Yes, my fingering technique.
Here is one from the great, one of our patron saints. Naftuli Brandwein is clearly one of our patron saints, as is Belf's Romanian Orchestra. But another is the great expatriate Australian Klezmerish composer Philip Johnston. And I think we're just going to go into it. The Waltz of the Recently Punished Catholic Schoolboys. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Permanently Punished Catholic Schoolboys by Philip Johnston. So speaking of Klezmerish songs from all the old countries, here's one. Started off as basically a traditional Irish tune, but in the early 20th century, late 19th century, Frederick Weatherly, an English lawyer, author, lyricist, apparently wrote the lyrics to over 3,000 songs. Who has the time, while also being a lawyer? Wrote this song, wrote a lyrics that became famous, except he wrote them to a different tune. And then a friend said, that's not a good tune for those words. Why don't you use this traditional Irish tune? And so we have Danny Boy.
One, two, three, four, one.
Danny Boy. Traditional Irish tune with some relatively new lyrics from Frederick Weatherly. Hey, here is another Ellington tune. This one with, what do we need to say? He is the greatest American Klezmerish composer, if not the greatest American composer. This one has lyrics by Otho Lee Gaines, known for being a member of the founding member of the Delta Rhythm Boys, wrote the lyrics that everybody uses for Take the A Train, and also wrote the lyrics to this one, Just Squeeze Me. Would you like to count us in?
You have a good time?
Yeah, yes, I will show you a good time, Sabrina, with all my fingering tricks.
Oh my God.
It's never going to end now.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Treat me sweet and gentle when you say goodnight. Just squeeze me, but please don't tease me. I get sentimental when you hold me tight. So squeeze me, but please don't tease me. Missing you since you went away, singing away the blues each day, counting the nights a-waiting for you. I'm in the mood to let you know I never knew I loved you, so please say you love me too. When I get this feeling, I'm in ecstasy, so squeeze me, but please don't tease me. Since you went away, singing away the blues each day, counting the nights a-waiting for you. I'm in the mood to let you know I never knew I loved you, so please say you love me too. When I get this feeling, I'm in ecstasy, so squeeze me, but please don't tease me. Thank you, darlings.
Just Squeeze Me, Duke Ellington, and Otho Lee Gaines.
So, Mark, can I say something about this next song?
I would love to, do you want to say it before I talk about more about Naftuli Brandwein?
Oh,
or
go ahead.
after
Tell
I
us
talk
about
more
Naftuli. I'll say it after you.
Because
after.
this is the Naftuli Brandwein time. This is a bulgar, which is another kind of, it's a kind of dance that took over after the freylach, particularly once music moved over to New York. It was another circle dance, but it's known for it's much more syncopated than the older versions. And this is one from Naftali Brandwein, who, between 1922 and 27, he cut 24 records. First as a member of Abe Schwartz's orchestra, and then as a solo artist. And then it all fell apart. There was anti-immigration legislation passed in 1924, which completely cut off the immigrants coming from Eastern Europe. So the people who liked that style of music, there weren't as many of them. And people started moving on. They liked more American styles even more, stuff of Dave Tarras. He got replaced by Dave Tarras in Abe Schwartz's orchestra. He started developing a reputation, which may or may not be true, as a nasty drunk. He started not showing up for gigs. He did a recording session in October 27 and then didn't record again until 41. And he lived out his final years in relative obscurity, playing in the Borscht Belt. But we look at his music today and are amazed. And Amber, would you introduce and dedicate this great tune by Naftali Brandwein?
This is a song I was so excited that the Klein Party does, because with my first band, which has a very long title, we played this song, and I loved playing it. And so I want this to go out to all of my white boys. You know who you are. Some of you are here on stage as well. Especially to some of the first people that I played this song with, which is Brendan Hogan, Alana King, and Todd Lisea. Especially Todd, because our thing about this song was Todd was saying at the very end, he said, "In my mind, I'm on a horse." You'll see.
And the name of this song is Der Heiser Bulgar, which means
The hot Bulgar.
count us in, Sabrina.
1, 2, 1, and 2.
Der Heiser Bulgar. And Naftuli, as I mentioned, got his start in the Abe Schwartz Orchestra. He was a Romanian-born musician and came to New York, did the theater thing, played for the Yiddish theater, and stumbled into the Columbia Records. When they were first, the records and the radio were really starting happening. He became sort of their contractor for ethnic records. And it was his job to put bands together so he could pay people. He offered paying gigs, and he put together these bands that Naftuli Brandwein played in, and Dave Terrace played in, and Sam Beckerman, and all these people. And it's another Bulgar, or it's Bulgarish. It's the Odessa Bulgarish, a Bulgar from Odessa. Odessa Bulgarish from Abe Schwartz and his orchestra. Hey, we are the Klein Party. We play for tips. There's a tip jar. You can get there from Facebook. You can get there from liveconcertstream.com. We'd like to give a special thanks today for the doubling of our staff. We have Brad on sound and Ileana on cameras.
Oh, Brad and Ileana.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. The members of the Klein Party today are Amber Wolf on vocals and percussion and gold shoes. Sabrina Pope on clarinet. Brandon Campbell on saxophones. Eric Ray Anderson on ukuleles and vocals. And today our special guest and auxiliary member, Mr. Larry Leggett on concert bass. I should say we have Mr. Joseph J. Castellini and David Gassner in absentia, as well as Eric Reed. We have a lot of absentia today. Here's a tune from the last one of our patron saints of the day. Born Bully Gaylord in 1914, either in Detroit or somewhere in Cuba, depending on who you believe. He was a boxer, a bootlegger, a mortician, a singer-songwriter who played piano, guitar, vibraphone, tenor saxophone. He was a bebopper. He played with Bird, with Diz, with Dodo Maramosa. He wrote his own language called Vautorini. He wrote lyrics in Spanish, German, Greek, Arabic, and Armenian and Yiddish. Famous, of course, for Flat Foot Flugy with a Floy Floy, Cement Mixer, Putty Putty. One of my favorites, When Banana Skins Are Falling, I'll Come Sliding Back to You.
Are you just making up titles?
No. He also wrote, this was one of my new pieces of news of the day, the children's song Down by the Station. Down by the with all the little puffer bellies in a row.
No.
Down
What's a
by
puffer
the
belly?
station,
What's a puffer belly?
Anyway, during the he was really happening in the bebop era, fell on hard times. In the 1970s, he lived in a motel owned by some guy named Marv down near SeaTac. And by day, he repaired appliances on Highway 99. And at night, he worked as an opening act at Roy Parnell's Jazz Club down in Pioneer Square. And during this time, this is before he got rediscovered. He was in a film, Absolute Beginners, if you ever saw that. He got rediscovered at the end of the 70s, early 80s. Had a real great, but for a while, either owned or lived in or worked or all three, an orchard in Tacoma. And he brought us this song, and you can see why he's our patron saint with this song, Dunkin' Bagel. Thanks to Paul Shapiro for turning us on to the chart for this song. And thank you to you for listening and for watching.
Yes.
And we will be back here next Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. It will be our last Pacific Daylight Time performance of the year.
Oh.
Because then the other thing hits.
Yeah. The darkness comes.
Dunkin' Bagel by Slim Gaylord.
And this has a special dedication. I hope he's watching. He said he would, Mr. Stephen B. Kern in New York City, and also some friendly viewers who I hope are tuning in from Tunisia and Mexico City. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dunkin' Bagel, Dunkin' Bagel, Dunkin' Bagel, splash in the coffee, yeah! Dunkin' Bagel, Dunkin' Bagel, Dunkin' Bagel, splash in the coffee. Matzo balls,
Matzo buzzarini,
gefilte fish,
gefilte fish avouti,
pickled herring,
pickled herring avuni,
laxaroonie.
lox avouti,
Dunkin' Bagel, Dunkin' Bagel, Dunkin' Bagel, splash in the coffee. the coffee. Dunkin' bagel. Dunkin' bagel. Dunkin' bagel. Splash in the coffee. Matzo balls.
Matzo boots a rooney.
Gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish of Maui.
Pickled herring.
Pickled herring of Looney.
Loxaroonie.
Lox of
Ah,
Vooney.
dang. Dunkin' bagel. Dunkin' bagel.
Yeah,
Dunkin' bagel. Smash in the coffee. How about a bowl of gefilte fish?
Cold.
Hot.
Thank you from the Klein Party. It was great to see you. It was great to play for you. We look forward to seeing you again next week.